Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. So this Wednesday on the 22nd September 2021, there was an earthquake in Melbourne, Australia. So it's Victoria biggest earthquake on the record, and it was 5.9 magnitude or 5.9 Richter. So before getting into the video, so first let's take a look at this quick video. Then we can start looking at the project.
Wow.
There might be another one.
Yeah, I know. Stay in the middle of the road, mate. Don't know.
We've had some damage, but the main thing is everybody's safe. There was only one person up there, they got out, so there was no injuries. Just a bit of a surprise. Earthquake in Windsor. Hard to believe.
Just very lucky that we're in lockdown, and because usually this is a very busy little area, and there would have been a lot of people under that debris.
But if it's too
Oh, I've never had an earthquake in here before.
Fucking scary.
yeah, that was a big one.
As you can see, so there was some damage after the earthquake, and now let's take a look at the website that I'm going to show you here. So right here, this is the website that basically we look into the source code, and I would like to shout out to Kabul. I also put like a small image in the of his GitHub as well. And now let's see right here the functionality of the website. Here you can see that we have this here. Whenever that I refresh this page, then it focuses on Melbourne, Australia. And this is by default, it selects 3 days. We can also change the date here as well. So if you want to see all of the earthquakes happening around the world in the last 3 days, then you can select from the drop down here, or you can also select a specific date based on your preference. The same, this is for the end date, and then click on the search button, right? It will try to fetch all of the information via an API and show it on this map right here. So now let me zoom in a little bit and see what information that we can see from this circle. So I click on it, then this is the information, like it happened 30 kilometers from the Mount Buller in Australia. At the time, it happened at 9:15 a.m. 22nd September 2021. And this is the information about the latitude and longitude as well. And the depth is 10 kilometers with the magnitude of 5.9 Richter. If you want to see more information, you can also click on this link right here. And this you can see on the bottom right hand side, we can also see the magnitude chart here as well. So between 5 to 7 Richter, then it showed this orange color. If the yellow one, it would be between 2 to 3, right? And when I zoom in a little bit more, you can see that it actually not just one earthquake, but 2. So when I click on this one here, it happened at 9:33 a.m. and the magnitude, this is a smaller one, so it's just 4.1. And this is basically project that we will look into, and we look at the source code. I will try to explain everything in depth to show all of you guys how this one works. And you can see when I scroll or try to move left and right, then you can also see the other countries here as well. So from this one here, when I hover on it, you can also change the map style. So this is the black and white, and this is the Google style, and for this one, this is the Google satellite. And I can also click on this checkbox here. So this is the Technonics plates, right? So showing all the line here. So when I select, say, like 10 days, okay, so there's a lot more. You can see around Australia, there's a lot of earthquake. So yep, that's basically what we're going to look in this video, and I hope you enjoy this video. So now let's get started. Okay guys, so first you need to clone this repo from Gitbook React Earthquake here. So just clicking here, and this is the URL. I want to show you how to clone this. So now once you clone this repo, then you can come here. So basically I have already opened this in my Visual Studio Code with all of the code here. So first thing that you will need to do is to run the npm install. So this will be npm install, and just wait for it to create the node modules folders to install all of the dependencies. Once everything is installed, just run npm start, and then now let's just see what do we get on the website, right? So here, this is inside the browser. We can see this is the map that we get from, and we can change the day and time and stuff. A lot of things that we can see on the screen here. So first, what I'm going to do is to trying to explain you what the code does. So here, let's just expand this source folder, and this is the index file. So let's just start with this file right here. And inside this file, so first you can see he's using the Redact right here with importing this provider that wrap it with this store, and inside this we have the app component. So on top here we can also see that we have this Leaflet CSS, and this is the Bootstrap CSS, and we also use the font awesome. So basically this is the custom font, and with this SAS or the styling as well. So right here, and then inside here we can also see we have imported this store. So inside the store we have the information like the Redact tool, dev tool, and we create this store right here, and then finally we just export it, and we are able to use this store. Also we have the model here, and this is the root reducer. I also have created the crash course about the Redact. You can also check out that crash course as well. And now let's just see what else that we have. We have this app component. So now we can start a deep dive into the app component. So it's right here. So let's just double click on this. Inside this here we have this ported this navbar component, and also the Leaflet component. So now we can start with the navbar component. So navbar component is right here, and we first take a look at the index file. So inside this index file we have imported this React strap. So basically this is the navbar, right? And we also have imported this DropdownList as well as the NavbarForm. So the DropdownList, let's just see, it's right here, and then this is the NavbarForm. So I think before getting into this here, let's just see inside here what we have. Basically we have this navbar, the color which is dark. So let's take a look right here, it's dark. And we have the earthquakes, right? So the text here, we can also change it. Let me change it to worldwide, save it, and then it automatically rerun. So right here you can see the update earthquake worldwide, and this is the toggle. Whenever that we click on here, we have this action, the toggle navbar. This one, it's the collapse. So by default it is set to false value, and whenever that we click on it, then this will take action, which change from say false to true or to true from true to false, right? So let me show you what I mean by that. So whenever that I click here, then it changed to true. Then when I click again, it changed back to false, right? So that is the collapse, and inside this collapse again we have this drop down list and the NavbarForm. So let's just start with this the drop down list. Here we have the index file inside this drop down list. So inside here we have this drop down from ReactJS. We have imported this store, which I already showed you earlier as well. And this is the action, which changed the time or start time and also the number of days, and converting the drop down from the util. And this is the period, which is from the constant. Down here, let's just see right here, use the use selector from the number of days, and this is the patch. And the drop down we by default set it to false, and whenever that we click on this drop down, right, so when I click on it, then you can see it changed the state from true to false. If it's true, then we change to false. And then right here, this is the select the number of days, so it allows us to select this day right here. And this is also change the start time as well. We'll deep dive into this. So first, let's see down here. We have the change drop down icon. So right here, when I click on it, you can see that it shows this is downward, and when I click again, it shows upward. So down and up, right? Down here, this is the array. So it's just looping through this list of period. We have this list here, and now let's just go back here and try to go into this file one by one. So the store, I show you that, and this is the action. So the action is right here. So this action, we have this change start time, and this is the end time and the number of day, and we export it so that we are able to use it in this file right here. And we also have the util. Take a look at the util. We have this basically from so it's now dash. It can be 1, 3 days, 10 days, 20, 30, and this is by default is 3 days. So we just writing the case here. Okay, so meaning that if the user select this one, the case 3 days, then it will show all of the earthquakes within these 3 days. And yep, that is the util. And how about the period, which is the constants here? So right here we just give it a name. It can be like 1 up to 30. Okay, so like that. And again, for the let me just show you the util. Here we have this by default is 3 days. So whenever that I refresh this page, you can see that it select these 3 days by default. So that's what it does. Okay, so I think we look at this yep, the drop down list component, see what else that I missed. I think everything all good. Just change this yep, the change number of day and the start time. So whenever that I select one of this, then it change, right? Okay, so that is the drop down list. Now let's close this, and we have the NavbarForm that we need to look into. This is the component, so it's right here. Start with the index file here inside the NavbarForm. So here we have the imported the Redux. We have the info tip. This is the tooltip, and this is the action, similar to what I show you in the drop down as well. And this is the style. So down here we just set the start time empty, nothing. It's just blank. And right here we have the tooltip. By default it's set this to false, and the same for the end time toolkit. It's just set this to false. So it's basically right here, right? So when I hover on it, then it shows this tooltip. So this is the toggle, and this is the on submit button. This right here, we have this patch. It's just clearing the drop down default value and pass the query here to perform the query. So if let's say I select a number of days, so let's say start day from here, and this is the end date, then we will set this value, right? It just change this time, and this patch basically it just changed the value. And finally it just clear the start and also the input value when after I click on this search button. Down here we have the change icon. It's just doing the opposite, so I will show you in a minute. And down here we have the on start time change, so it just changed whatever date that we select on the screen. The same for the end time change as well. And this is the form itself. So the form here include from here this part, right? Here let's see, we have this action that I show you already, and this is the input. We have this start time, and whenever that I click on the icon, then it will change the toggle the icon here, right? So will when I click on this, then it change, right? And then down here we have this icon. So basically when I click on this icon, it will switch between the calendar and the pencil. So when I click on it, you can see it changed to the pencil. Click again, it changed to the calendar icon. Okay, so this is the first input. And we also down here we have this tooltip as well. So the tooltip here, whenever that I hover on it, then you can see the information down here. Okay, and then about this one, this is the second input for the end time change. And finally we have this search button right here. Okay, so yep, that's this input. And see what else that it import. We import the info tips as well. So click on this and we can see the information, like I said, like please enter whatever that the date here. So when I hover on it, you can see the information down here, which is coming from this file. And what's next is to the action. I show you that, and then we have this the styling. So I want to go through this. So we also look at the NavbarForm as well, right? I think we have covered everything in this file. So now let's just go back here, and you can see that we have covered the drop-down list and also the NavbarForm. So we can just close this. And how about this reducer file here? So basically this one is the importing the store model, and this is the type as well. So here we have this start time change, end time change, number days change, and where is this file is actually being used. Before that, let's see what inside this. We have different case. We have this start time change, end time change, and this is the default value. So this reducer is actually being used by let's see right here, it's inside the store. So root reducer, right? So importing this navbar/reducer, then we are able to use the navbar reducer. Okay, so this is where it's being used. And now let's see, we have covered these two, so we can now close this as well. We going back, and it's actually right here, which is this time we look at the Leaflet component. So Leaflet component is actually inside this folder. Let me also close this. So the Leaflet component, we can start with the index file. So inside this file, let's see, we can start again a similar thing. We can start from the top to bottom. So this is the earthquake imported from this folder. We have the legends, it's right here, and this is the tectonics plates from the JSON file, it's right here, and this is the constants, style, and then down here what this does is to this is the map. So this is the map that we can see here. It just so this is the tile layer dot map. This is the list of array. Then down here we have the tectonics plates, which we render down here. So the array right here, this is what you can see. We have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the tectonic plates, which is coming from here. And then we have the earthquakes and also scale control. So the scale control here is referring to this small part here. And then the legends here is referring to this part. All right. So now we can go through this. So the earthquakes. I might also change the data here as well. So instead of like showing it 0, 0, this is the latitude and this is the longitude. I can also change that whenever that I refresh the page. I want it to focus on the Melbourne in Australia. So let me look for the latitude and longitude. So this is what I search. I search for Melbourne longitude and latitude, and this is the data or the result that I get from. But it's actually not that correct because when you look down here, you can see that it starts with minus. So this is the latitude. Let me just copy that, going back here and change it right away. And then this is the longitude. So let's just copy here and place it. When I save it, and let's just see on the website here whether it focuses on Melbourne. Oh, okay. So right here you can see when I refresh this page, then it focuses on Melbourne, which is this part here. I can also change the zoom here as well to, let's just say, number 2. Then it would zoom out, right? If I were to change this back to 3, then it zoom in a little bit. So I would go with the number 3. And now let's just go back here. Let's take a look at the earthquake. We can start with the index file. So inside this index file, we have the spinner, we have the hooks, store, util from this util, and this is another util, which is the marker option, and we have the features. Down here we can see that it is using the earthquake features by selecting the start time and the end time. And this is using the use effects. So what about what this part does is to returning the circle marker. So whatever that you can see here, these are all the circle marker. And then we can also see that we have this spinner as well. So if it is fixing, then it's showing the spinner. Otherwise we closed it. So the spinner here is basically the GIF image here, like it's loading, right? Nothing special here. So now let's just see the hooks. So what inside these hooks? We have this earthquake. By default, this is set to empty object, and we have the loading by default set to false and error set to false. And this is whenever the page load using the use effects hooks. We can see we have this get earthquake, and if there's an error, we set the error here. So this is what the hook does, and it's here in the get earthquake, it's using the service. So see if the service here, we also right here we define the endpoint, which this part here, the end, the start time and the end time, it is dynamic. And here, if there's an error, we just show this error message in the console log. And now we can look at the share HTTP service. So share HTTP service is coming from here. So right here, what this one does is configuring the headers. If there's no authorization header, then we just do this. Otherwise, we just returning the config itself. And we also define the API URL. So the URL here is coming from this environment file, .env file. So it's right here. Okay. So basically, all of the information that you can see on the our website, on the browser here, all of this information, right? These are coming from this endpoint, the earthquake.usgs.gov. Okay, so we have looked at this, and down here just defining the get, post, put, and delete request. And this is the service. We already looked into this, and now let's look at the store. I think the same one, which is the store folder right here. We already looked at that as well. So you can skip this part. And this is the util. So the util is this one. So this one is to convert the time to human readable specific time zone. So it just whenever that we get the time, it's not human readable. We just want to convert it into the format that we want. In this case, this is the time, right, that we want to see. I won't go in detail in this one. And down here we have the on each features. So the feature here is the information you can see, which is whenever I click on it, then you can see all of the information like place, time, latitude, depth, magnitude, and the detail, which is right here. Let's just say for this one here, I might want to change this to a little bit bigger, right? Look a little bit small for the magnitude. And now let's come here, and then we can change. Let's just add the H3 tag. The same for this one. Save it and see if we get a bigger font. Refresh this as well. Try to fetch again. And yep, this is better, I guess. So yep, let's just take the time to look at this. We have the place, but if we were to look at this, you can see the information is actually GMT +3. So I want to change it to Australian time zone. So to change this, it's right here. So Australian time zone is +10. The same for this. Right, it's Melbourne time zone. I search for that, and you can see it's GMT +10. And I might not use GMT, so this is the old one. The new one which currently using is UTC. So let's just change that text as well to UTC +10 and save it. See if it change. Refresh, click again. And here it is, guys. So it happened on the 22nd of September 2021 at 9:15 a.m. So this is the latitude and longitude, and the depth is 10 kilometers with the magnitude is 5.9 Richters. And this is information. If you want to see more, click on this link here. Okay, so now we change that. And what else? We have looked at the util, and this is another util. So this util is coming from this right here. The util, it's right here. Okay, so for this one, this is basically the so-called marker color. So if this is between magnitude 1 or equal to 2, then it shows this color. Otherwise, it show the other colors as defined here, right? So this is say magnitude from 5 to 7, it show the orange color. If it's 3 to 5, then it show this yellow color, right? So this is the util, and this is the marker option, which again, this is whatever that you can see on the screen here, all of this circle color, or the marker option. And the radius here, you can see it's depend on the magnitude. It can be like a smaller one, or this is like a little bit bigger, right? So that is this util. And then we have this model as well. So the model is nothing, actually this is like the place, time, URL, and title. So yep, that's we also cover in this earthquake file as well. And what's next is to show you is this is the index. Now we look at this, and this is the scale control. Scale control is coming from React Leaflet. So we haven't really looked at the Leaflet yet. Let me search for it. Okay, when I search for the Leaflet npm, you can see that it's quite popular. So what is this exactly? Let me click on the official website, and now you can see that it basically the map, right? When I go back here, and we also have the React Leaflet as well. So for this, click on the documentation, and again, this is all the code related to the React with the map here. Okay, so I won't go this in detail. Now let's just see, we have legends. So legends here is this, let's close this. It is this folder. So the legend, let's just start with the index file. We have the uselet, right, from React, and we also have the util. This is from the so-called marker color. For this one, we basically looping through, and then where is this exactly on the website? Well, the legend is referring to this small part here, right, on the screen. And then we also import, yep, that's the color. Yeah, that is it for this component, the legend component. And if I were to change some text here, right, so if I add something, then let's see on the website, it will change. So refresh this, and now you can see it just showing all of this random text. So when I go back here, then when I refresh this, then you can see it stay right here. So this is the legends. And next is to go back to this index. And what else that we need to cover? We need to look into this JSON. So the JSON here, this is all of the information about this tectonic plates. So tectonic plates, whenever that say I click on this option, then yep, this is what you can see on the map. Can also zoom out a little bit, right? And yes, this is it. And what else? We have these constants. So the constants here, it's, so what is this constant about? Well, it's about the redefining the name, the tar layers. So we have 4 of this. I can also switch it, right? Switch this, save all of this, and this is the Google satellite. So this is the file all about. Then we have the style. So style here is yep, just the height. And I guess that's it, guys. We also look at this file here. This is the Leaflet, the map, and we also cover this, and then we going back. Here is the app component. So that's pretty much it, guys. We have looked a lot, starting from this main file, the index file .tsx, up to going one by one into all of the files. Again, I like to thank to Kabul for this repo. It's quite useful so that I can show everyone how this works. And also, last thing that I want to show is this part right here. So if you were to plan to deploy this, let's say in this case I deploy it on the Netlib file, then you can also try to link it to your GitHub repo. And then what you need to do is coming to this build and deploy, and this is the command that you will need to use. So previously we can just use this straight away like npm run build, but now we have to use this command. So ci equal to, and there's a space right here, then you can start defining this command. And also for the environment right here, so right here, right, whenever I click on it, we have to also add this environment variable, because otherwise we will get an error whenever that we try to deploy it, because it doesn't pick up or recognize this .env file at all. So we have to define this React App API URL, and this is the value or the endpoint that we will need to provide. And by then it would be able to deploy it onto the website. So in this case right here, this is the website. Whenever I refresh the page, you can see that we have this focus on Melbourne, and also the title I changed it to a quick tracker, and this is the quick worldwide. And when I click on it, you can see it's a little bit bigger font, easier to see. Okay, so yep guys, that I think pretty much it for this video. I hope that you learn a lot from this, and you can see all of the information about the earthquake around the world within these 3 days. You can also select the date, and you can also choose from the drop down here as well. I hope you like this video as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have any questions. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Stay safe.